Hey, Wayne here, and today I have the Rottweiler from Puckipuppy. It's an etrike. We're going to get it out of the box and assembled. Okay, after you get all the foam and everything off of it, you're going to want to unfold your bike and lock it into position like this. Okay, now we're going to install the stem. Just go ahead and slide that in and then open it up. Tighten this up a bit. Let's go ahead and close that back up. Now, in the instructions they show with it open like this to go ahead and release this lever here and take your handlebar and slide it in, but I have enough cable here. I already checked. I'm going to just prop this back up. That's already loose. I'm going to bring this up carefully and slide it in here. I'm going to put it almost all the way down. Close it up. Now, to straighten this, all I have to do is come back in, open this up again, bring it down, loosen this up a little bit, close this back up, or at least just kind of line it up. So, looks like everything is straight right about here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And like I said, at the very end, you can go back in and tighten all this up and line it up back up again. Loosen it, tighten it, get it just right. This is just to help you get along with installing everything on the bike. All right, so that's pretty tight. I'll go over that again later at the very end. Prop this back up. And yeah, it looks pretty good. So, okay, we're gonna move on to the next step. Okay, so I've loosened this up, these two screws here, so I can adjust the handlebars now that they're on. And we're gonna go ahead and move it, and we'll just kind of make it kind of flat here with everything. And I'll readjust probably a little later because I like my brakes to point a little downward, but I can adjust the brakes myself. Just going to go ahead and tighten this down so that we can get the display mounted onto it. And like I said at the very end, we'll go ahead and make our final adjustments. Okay, once you get these screws completely removed from the display, you're going to want to grab both and kind of open them up a little bit and slide them on to that bar right there and turn it over, put the screws back in. Now, be very careful when you screw anything that is completely made out of plastic, because if these break, you're going to have to order a whole new piece. So just kind of get it going, leave it loose enough so you can maneuver it around. Now you want it to be able to still move even when you're riding in case you need to make adjustments. Plus that'll leave it loose enough that you don't break the plastic. So I'm going to go a little bit tighter because I don't want to hit a bump and the screen slips out of place. But just make it so. Like I said, maybe so that you can kind of still move it a little bit. Now that should be good enough. Before I mount this tire, I'm going to go ahead and inflate it. It says it can take PSIs 5 to 30. I'm going to go about 25 PSI on all the tires. Now, one reason I'm doing this first is that I had some experience recently where I put the tires on the bike and I inflated and they weren't kind of lined up, and it turned out that it made the ride kind of wobbly. So what you need to do is while you're putting air in a tire that's completely out of air, is that you're going to want to pull up on parts of this and try to make sure that that rim is completely centered as much as you can. And that may require you doing that a little bit while putting air in. So I'm going to probably put it flat, horizontal, while I pump it up. And I'm going to use an air pump like this. So if you want information on this air pump and all the tools I use, I'm going to put that down below. So I'm going to go ahead and get that tire inflated, and then I'm going to mount it onto the bike. Okay, the next step to prepare for your front tire installation is remove this spacer between your brake pads. And do not squeeze your brake levers because you'll close it up. Loosen these two nuts here with a 13mm wrench. And you could just simply put your foot on it, raise the bike up, pull it out, and you are now ready to install that front tire and wheel. When installing the front tire and wheel, make sure that this brake disc is on your right side. If you're facing the bike, it goes on the right, because you'll need to slide it in between your brake pads right here. And you may need some help. Somebody can help raise the bike while you slide the wheel into place. And then, or if you can, just lift it yourself like I'm gonna do. It's more rear heavy than front heavy, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. And the other thing I would do is I would loosen these nuts, or in my case, I'm gonna completely remove them because I don't like them sliding around while I'm trying to install the front tire and wheel. So I'm gonna do that, then I'll be right back with the install. Perfect. When you install the front tire and wheel, the washer that goes on first is the one with the little clip on it. So you're going to fit that into the hole right here. That will hold that into place. Then you put the regular washer on, then you put the nut on, and you can use the supplied 15mm wrench that Puckipuppy gives you, and you can tighten that down, do the same thing on the other side, and your front wheel will be done. To install this front light with the fender, you're going to remove this screw that is behind the front fork. It's going to be up front now. You're going to place this here, line it up with the hole on the fork, line the fender up with the hole on the fork, and screw it all back together. Okay, now all you have to do is screw this back in for the side pieces, the arms of the fender, screw that in, and then do the same thing on the other side, and your front fender with light will be done. So this is what it looks like when it's been completed. As you notice, I like my light to be facing a little downward. I like that so I don't blind people as I ride up towards them. And that is it for this front light. One thing I almost forgot is you have to remove this clip right here. It's just a plastic clip that you can pop off. Put this cable in here and then put the clip back on to hold it in place. And that's it. Okay, before installing the rear basket to the bike, you're going to want to do the fenders to the rear basket first. Now, what you're going to want to notice is that these slots here in the basket, there's two horizontal ones. Those go near the rear suspension, while these vertical slots are going to go towards the tail lights. So another thing that you're going to want to pay attention to are these metal braces. The short one is going to go again over here towards the rear of the bike, and the longer ones are going to go by the suspension, so closer to the suspension. And these curved parts right here, these short stubby curved parts, not the slotted part of the bracket, but these ones that have these little horizontal holes drilled out, that goes under the fender, and you screw that together. And the longer one goes back here towards the brake lights, and that again will go underneath and screw into the fender. And then once you have those screwed in, then the slotted parts right here will go on the outside of the basket and screw into the holes here and here. So I've already done this side is done, and I'm going to go ahead and do this one and show you the finished result, and then we will mount the basket to the bike. Now that both the fenders are installed to the rear basket, I'm going to remove this part here, which will now expose these four bolts here that we're going to remove, put the basket back on, put the bolts back in, and the rear basket and fender will be done. I'll be right back. Everything's installed. There is a plastic board under this basket cover, I guess you can call it, or liner. And it's plastic, and I think in the heat it kind of got a little warped, but I'm pretty sure if I leave it out in the heat for a little while with something sitting on it, it's probably going to mold right back into place. But otherwise, yeah, this is the rear basket fully installed with the rear fenders. So to get your seat ready, you're going to have to install this stem seat post, and you're going to place it underneath the seat. You're going to fix these brackets right into place where you need them. Make sure that the measurement here is pointing towards the back of the seat, and then tighten this up. You can always loosen it and readjust later. So for now, I'm just putting it on to get it started, and any adjustments I make, I'll make on the bike. So let's go ahead and tighten this up and fit it onto the bike. Release this lever, slide the seat post in, put it wherever you like, tighten it up, make any adjustments you need afterwards, and your seat is done. For the pedals, we have a right and a left. Right goes with right, left goes on the other side. Now the only difference is right will go on clockwise, while the left will go on counterclockwise. So keep that in mind so you don't mess up the threads on it. And it's going to use you're going to use your 15 millimeter wrench to get the pedals on tight. So just tighten them up, do the same on both sides, and the pedals will be done. Now that you have your Puckipuppy Rottweiler completely assembled, go back, double check, make sure that the tires have the proper air pressure, battery's fully charged, everything's lined up and tightened down. Go grab yourself one, get out there and ride, and I'll see you on the next one.